Don't have any skills. So... I think I'm ready.
Now then, let's begin with a simple explanation of the class trial. During the class trial, you will present your arguments for who the killer is and vote for who done it. If you vote correctly, then only the blackened will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong person, I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and that person will earn the right to leave this island.
Such a cruel rule.
Before we begin, I'd like to confirm one thing. Is there really a killer among us?
Most definitely. There's no doubt that the blackened is lurking among you. Such a sad state of affairs, isn't it? By the way, this class trial is gonna be 100% fair, so there's no need to worry. I'm the type who hates favoritism and prejudice. Well, not as much as I hate monogamy, of course.
You hate me that much?
Now, let's begin.
You're telling us to begin, but what are we supposed to do?
No complaining, let's just settle this with our fists.
Were you even listening to the rules? Didn't that Byakuya bastard get killed in the dining hall, huh? Then everyone there is a fucking suspect.
Yeah, what you're really trying to say is that you're not the killer, right?
No shit. You guys went off on your own and started killing each other. This has nothing to do with me.
Huh? What does that mean?
Anyway, why don't we try talking about the most pressing issue on our minds? The most pressing issue on our minds? Where we found the body. It's very strange to find a body underneath the table.
Then, let's start with that mystery.
Byakuya's body was discovered on the dining hall table. Start with that, but ultimately we need to find out who murdered him. Can't do that. Thinking about if is a waste of time. I have to do this no matter what. Alright. Oh.
Why was Byakuya's body in a place like that?
His body was underneath the table at the very back of the dining hall.
After the killer murdered Byakuya, they probably moved the body there.
Huh? Why?
Obviously by hiding the body. They tried to delay its discovery. Like a dog burying a bone.
Okay.
Why was Byakuya's body in a place like that?
His body was under the very back of the dining hall.
After the killer murdered Byakuya, they probably moved the body there. No, that's wrong.
Yeah.
No, I don't think the killer moved the body. Huh? Why? Try to remember what the body looked like when we found it under the table. Though there was a lot of blood everywhere, there was no sign the killer actually dragged the body through it.
So that's why you think it's impossible that the killer moved the body.
I see. I get your point.
Aw, and here I thought I had a genius idea.
Too bad you're so stupid and boring and unpopular. Your life is meaningless.
I respond better to praise, you know.
But if the killer didn't move the body, why was it under the table?
Byakuya was probably killed under the table.
What? You think he was killed under the table?
So Byakuya snuck under the table for reasons unknown, and that's when he was killed. Then, shortly thereafter, we found his body under the table.
That does make sense, but why did he go under the table?
Obviously, he was hiding so he could surprise us. That dude was always a big jokester.
The hell he was? You seriously couldn't tell what kind of person he was?
Maybe he panicked during the blackout and dove under the table.
It's a blackout, not an earthquake. Just because the power went out doesn't mean you dive under the table.
The reason why is probably connected to what Byakuya was doing during the party, don't you think?
Did definitely the embarrassing pose. Let's see.
I can prove it with this. It probably has something to do with the knife we found under the table.
Knife? Oh, you mean that thing that obviously screams, I am a murder weapon!
Byakuya probably noticed the knife was hidden there, so in order to get it, he moved under the table.
He was particularly sensitive to the presence of dangerous items, so I cannot deny that possibility. But how did he notice that there was a knife under the table?
If he knew beforehand, he probably would have done something about it before the blackout, right? Then, instead of knowing about it beforehand, maybe he saw it right at that moment. Like, for example, he might have seen someone trying to take the knife out from under the table.
No, that's not possible.
What? You seem rather confident about that.
Of course. I have proof to back me up.
This is almost like a real trial!
Holy fuck. Alright, let's see.
I'm sure Byakuya ducked under the table during the blackout.
That sounds correct. If that's the case, during the blackout, Mr. Ham Hands must have seen the killer take the knife.
But it was super pitch black! It was so dark I couldn't see my food! Byakuya couldn't see in the dark either. I doubt he could have seen the killer.
No, yeah, night vision goggles.
I'm sure Byakuya ducked under the table during the blackout.
That sounds correct. If that's the case, during the blackout, must have seen the killer.
But it was super pitch black! It was so dark I couldn't see my food! Byakuya couldn't see in the dark either.
No,
That
that's
is-
wrong.
I like how the truth bullets like move fast in this game. It's like handy.
No, Byakuya was probably the only one who was able to see in the dark.
Why do you say that?
He was using those night vision goggles we found under the table. He could have seen what was happening.
So, are you saying Byakuya was the one who used those night vision goggles?
Yeah, that seems to be the case.
Your reasoning is out of focus.
Oh?
No, that's obviously wrong. It should be the other way around.
Other way around?
Seriously? The killer used those night vision goggles, not Byakuya.
Can't. Oh. All right.
If you just use common sense. The killer obviously used those night vision goggles. That's gotta be it.
I can't back down!
No, what?
If you just use common sense. The killer obviously used those night vision goggles. That's gotta be it.
Where's your proof that the killer used them?
Because if they used night vision, then they could have killed Byakuya even in the dark. In reality, that's what happened. So those goggles were planned in advance. The killer brought them to the crime scene. Because if they used night, then they could have killed Byakuya even in the dark. In reality, that's so those goggles were planned in advance. The killer brought them to the crime scene.
Oh, wait, I need to click.
Because if they used night, then they could have killed Byakuya even in the dark. In reality, that's what happened. So those goggles were planned in advance. The killer brought them to the crime scene. Because if they used night, then they could have killed Byakuya even in the dark. In reality, so those goggles were planned in advance. The killer brought them to the crime scene. Because if they used night vision goggles, then they could have killed Byakuya even in the dark. In reality, that's what happened. So those goggles were planned in advance. The killer brought them to the crime scene. Damn it! If you just use common sense.
So
The
there's the
killer
dark.
obviously used those night vision goggles. That's gotta be it.
Where's your proof that the killer used them?
Because if they used night vision, then they could have killed Byakuya even in reality. That's so those goggles were planned in advance. The killer brought them to the crime scene.
Found a hole here.
Because if they used night vision goggles, then they could have killed Byakuya even in the dark. In reality, that's what happened. So those goggles were planned in advance. The killer brought them to the crime scene. Because if they used, then they could have killed Byakuya even in the dark. In reality, so those goggles were planned in advance. The killer brought them to the crime scene.
Allow me to cut through those words!
Oh, okay. Alright, so I have to click.
Byakuya was definitely the one who brought those night vision goggles.
Definitely? But why?
Inside the Duralumin case Byakuya had with him during the party, we found a smaller case for storing the night vision goggles.
Which means we can assume that the night vision goggles were kept inside that Duralumin case as well. Woohoo! I said assume! Ibuki never uses such clever language.
Plus, Byakuya was the only one who could have taken the night vision goggles out of the case, since he was carrying it around before the blackout in the first place.
I see. When you put it like that, it makes sense.
Then, was that knife inside the case too? If there were night vision goggles inside, it wouldn't be weird for a knife to be in there too.
It would be weird.
I am weird, aren't I? times like this, I'd rather be fantasizing about tonight's main dish.
Ooh, you totally mean that in a perverted way.
That was brought the Darlin case along with the knife given ghost. No, it's not possible. Dining hall for the party.
I see! There was duct tape left under the table where the body was found. Huh? Duct tape? They probably hid the knife by duct taping it to the underside of the table.
Oh, so that's why we found duct tape there.
Though Byakuya was thorough, even he couldn't have noticed a weapon taped to the underside of the table.
This may be off topic, but why was Byakuya acting so paranoid? Not only did he bring a self-defense kit, but he had night vision goggles inside the case too.
That's true. He went above and beyond being a little cautious.
Now that you mention it, that applies to the dangerous items he confiscated as well. It's one thing to be a little cautious, but performing a body check is a bit much.
He probably knew. Someone was planning to commit a murder.
Are you saying he predicted the murder? Could it be? Was he also in possession of the all-seeing eye?
You think so too, right, Hajime?
Right. Because there was the...
I can prove it with this! Everyone, can you please take a look at this?
Hey, the hell is this?
Hajime and I found this in Byakuya's cottage. It looks like a threatening letter someone sent to him.
So, who's the someone?
Nobody besides Monokuma would write such a dumb, threatening letter like that.
Wasn't me!
Are you sure?
The only lies I tell are friendly lies!
Those are still lies! It doesn't matter who wrote it yet. So, Byakuya became paranoid because of this threatening letter?
He probably decided to throw a party because of the letter. What do you mean? By gathering everyone in one place, he tried to create a situation where everyone could keep tabs on each other. In doing so, he tried to put the writer of the letter in a situation where they couldn't act. But the letter might have been just a little prank. As long as he was determined not to let any of us die, he couldn't take that risk. His strong sense of responsibility made him believe the letter was legitimate.
He should have told us he received a threatening letter.
If he had, we would have panicked. Byakuya probably knew that too.
So, he tried to do something about it without telling anyone? I see. A strong sense of responsibility as our leader was his undoing.
Screw that noise! Who the hell wrote that letter?
Well, obviously, the killer.
The killer. Is it really one of us? Who is it? Who's the one who killed Byakuya?
Enough already! Show yourself, you coward!
If they were willing to come forward, they never would have committed a murder in the first place.
I still can't believe it. Someone in this room killed Byakuya. There's no way I can believe that yet.
Pardon me. Can I say something, please?
What is it, Miss Sonia?
I regret that I must return to this topic, but I just realized something concerning the night vision goggles. If Byakuya was indeed wearing those goggles, how did the killer manage to navigate in the dark?
You're right. They wouldn't have been able to see anything without the night vision goggles. But if the murderer had the goggles when they took the knife, then how did Byakuya see them?
Even if the knife bore some sort of mark, it would have been difficult to see it in that darkness.
Killer used a mark. Glowing paint.
I see! What if the glowing paint was the mark? With that, you'd be able to get the knife even in the dark. In actuality, the knife we found under the table and the duct tape stuck to the underside of the table were both marked with glowing paint, right?
Does that mean the killer painted them in advance?
But painting them with glowing paint? It's as if they knew the blackout was going to happen.
They had to have already known. That's why they used the glowing paint as a mark. Which means whoever set up the
seals it. The killer is whoever was in the office with the circuit breaker. Which means it was you! Peko Pekoyama!
Peko killed poor Byakuya? Was this island not big enough for two glasses wearers? I'm not the killer. Oh, I guess she's not.
How can you believe her so easily?
But with Pecco's height, I don't think she'd be able to reach the circuit breaker in the office.
I don't care about a technicality like that. Peko's the one who tripped the breaker and caused the blackout.
That's not what happened. Blue weak spots. Oh. All right.
Since Peko was in the office, she could have caused a blackout at any time.
That's impossible.
Huh? Why is it impossible?
So, let me just see what each account was. Okay, gas stove in the kitchen is powered by electricity. Wait, what are the three accounts?
Because I was not in the office. Not even before the blackout.
I agree with that. No, I think Pecco is telling the truth.
Don't tell me you're crushing on Peko.
It's nothing like that at all. Nekomaru's account is actually Pecco's alibi.
I've been trying these many times, but the door just won't open at all.
It's true. Someone was occupying the bathroom for a long time shortly after the party started, and it was finally freed up after Byakuya's body was discovered.
Then the person who was in the bathroom that whole time was actually...
Everyone else besides Pecco was in the dining hall after the party started, right?
I see. So there's no way anybody else could have locked themselves in the bathroom except Pecco.
I guess that would be true.
You locked yourself in the commode? You should have said so earlier.
There's no way she'd actually say that. Gosh, you're so insensitive.
If she locked herself in the bathroom for that long, there's no doubt. It's shit. Oh, there's no way she'd admit it. There's no way she'd admit she was taking a shit.
Hey, weren't you guys taught any basic manners, or were you raised in a locker room?
I'm sorry.
It's fine.
How about we stop talking about this and move on to something else?
Don't worry, the smell wasn't that strong. I used the bathroom right after you, so you can trust me.
I said it's fine.
But still, you were in the bathroom for a really long time. Did you get food poisoning or something?
As soon as I stepped into the office, I felt this sudden rush of pain in my stomach. Because of that, I was unable to leave the bathroom, including when the blackout occurred.
Hey, how did it feel to do your business in the dark?
What the fuck?
Excited? Seriously, stop it. But still, your stomach pain. Was that really just a coincidence?
Hey, what's the deal? Don't butt into other people's business, especially if you didn't do any investigating.
I'm only butting in because you fucking idiots are out of your element.
Stop this childish nonsense. Just what do you mean by coincidence?
What I mean is it possible someone slipped her some laxatives?
Laxatives?
If so, the killer could have tripped the breaker as soon as that girl left the office, don't you think?
I see. That might have happened.
That's why they're Pecco stomachache. Coincidence? What do you answer? Definitely embarrassing pose.
Did you eat anything weird?
I don't remember eating anything weird. Now that you mention it... You brought food to the office, right? Just a little bit from the dining hall.
There might have been some laxatives in it, don't you think?
Taro cooked the food. How suspicious!
I wouldn't do anything like that.
Okay, well, there's
Laxatives would ruin the taste.
Pecco stomachache was a coincidence or someone intentionally caused it. Clear. Clarify that first.
Did you eat anything weird?
Yes, you did.
I don't remember eating anything weird. Now that you mention it... You brought food to the office, right? Just a little bit from the dining hall.
There might have been some laxatives in it, don't you think?
Taro cooked the food. How suspicious!
I wouldn't do anything like that. Laxatives would ruin the taste.
Fuck.
Crap.
Oh wow, that barely
Did
nudges
you
my
eat
health bar.
anything weird?
I don't remember eating... Now that you brought food to the office... Just a little bit from the
There might have been some laxatives in it, don't you think?
Yeah.
No, that's wrong.
No, that's wrong. Jada good.
No, it's impossible that laxatives were slipped into the food in the dining hall. Because Pekka wasn't the only one who ate that food. Akane ate some of it too.
If the food had laxatives in it, I'm pretty sure Akane would have had stomach issues as well.
I feel totally fine.
Like I said, the dishes are innocent. Don't go making weird accusations.
I apologize for causing a scene. Fuyuhiko should apologize, not you. He's the one who made the laxative accusation.
What the fuck did you say, bitch?
Cease this bickering.
Let's just dismiss Pecco's stomachache as a coincidence and go back to discussing the blackout. Yeah. We already know that, you trashy skank. You don't have to tell us. Trashy skank?
As long as the murder happened during the blackout, then the blackout itself isn't. It's what's actually important. Make it clear how the blackout occurred.
Who tripped the breaker and how did they do it? If you can't answer that, I'm gonna bop you on the head.
Oh no, she's gonna
Did
bob
they
me on the
throw a
head.
stone and hit it?
Maybe they used a remote control?
They probably messed with the breaker.
It does not have to be the breaker. They may have tampered with the power supply and transmitters.
Crap!
Who tripped the breaker and how did... If you can't answer that, did they throw a...
Maybe they used a remote.
They probably...
It does not have to be the break. They may have tampered with the... Or maybe they caused a power surge?
I agree with that. It's just as Mahiru said. The blackout was caused by a power surge. Of course, that's not a coincidence. Someone caused it intentionally. Which is why those 3 irons were arranged to cause the blackout. When you found them right after the blackout, the irons were still on, right?
So by leaving those irons on in the storage room, they deliberately caused a power surge.
Yeah. It seems that's how the killer caused the blackout.
Stupid fool!
Oh, Nekomaru's pissed.
Hold on a second, let me speak too!
What the heck?
You say the irons in the storage room were used to trigger the blackout? That's inexcusable!
But they were still hot.
If the irons in the storage room caused the blackout, then for the killer to turn the irons on, you're saying they went all the way to the storage room? Then that means everyone who was in the dine when the blackout occurred can't be a suspect.
No, just because people were in the dining hall doesn't mean they're not a suspect.
But the people in the dining hall weren't able to... If the irons caused the blackout...
Allow me to cut through those words.
Yeah, okay.
The irons are just one reason the blackout occurred, but they weren't the direct trigger. The direct trigger was when the air conditioners in the dining hall and office clicked on.
Air conditioners!
The timers for both air conditioners were set to 11:30 p.m.
11:30 p.m. Mr. Ham-Hams died around that time too.
I see. When the timers activated the air conditioners, the breaker was tripped and caused a blackout. I see. I understand. Indubitably.
Indubitably?
They probably checked the old building's energy usage in advance and used it. So once they set the air conditioner's timers, they just had to wait until they started up on their own.
If so, even if Pekka was in the office, it still would have been possible to cause a blackout, indubitably.
Indubitably? Miss Sonia, not you too.
Regarding the energy usage, they probably asked Monokuma about it.
Dun dun dun!
Is she right? Such a hateful bear! You deserve to die 1,000 deaths!
1,000, you say? If I died that many times, I might really stay dead, you know?
Shut up! You guys just stay quiet! I couldn't have prevented the blackout even if I was in the office. Even so, I feel regret. If I was in the office, I could have reset the breaker in time. And maybe the murder wouldn't have occurred.
No, the breaker in the office was built into a high area of the wall that's impossible to reach. Resetting the breaker in that darkness would have been impossible, no matter what.
Sounds like you don't need to blame yourself.
Even so, the killer is so sly. I'm starting to worry we may never actually find them.
Nah, we'll find them.
It's all right. You don't have to worry. Because they're just a petty killer, right? They can't defeat symbols of hope like you guys.
Facts. Huh?
There's no way everybody will lose now. This little incident will just be a stepping stone for you all. In the end, hope always wins. That's what I believe.
Nagito? What happened to you?
Huh? What do you mean?
Well, you have been saying this whole time that there's no way a killer could be among us.
Oh, is that so? Well, let's just put that minor detail aside for now and talk about the incident. For now, we found out how the blackout occurred. But the question is, who caused it, right? Anybody could have hid and set the timers for the air conditioners. Setting up the irons in the storage room could have been done before Byakuya set foot in the old building. What a shame. Any one of us is capable of that.
What are you implying?
He's just saying, after all this time, we still haven't made any progress. Huh? Even though we have been arguing for so long?
Fortunately, it's the truth. Despite the fact that we've discussed this at length, there's not even one clue that leads to the killer. But that might be because there's no way any of us could be a killer.
You're changing your story again?
Anyway, I have an idea about what we all should do at this point. Has anyone thought about our situation like this? Instead of surviving by doubting others,
Doesn't that mean... Are you saying we should all just give up and die?
Nagito, there's definitely something wrong with you.
you guys only think there's something wrong with me because there's something wrong with you. Suspecting each other like this. There's no way that's healthy behavior. Let's stop this already. We don't have to find out who the killer is. I can't stand this anymore. I don't want to do this to my friends.
I don't want to do this either.
Me too! Please, take me home already! I want to go home and eat candy! Stop it. If
everyone acts like this, I'm gonna...
Everyone calm down. We're all friends, aren't we? There's no way one friend would murder another.
Then why did Byakuya die?
Who cares? Let's just give up already. There are no clues that lead to the killer anyway.
That's wrong. I think.
Did you say something?
'Cause we've already found a clue that might point to who the killer is.
You know who the killer is?
The killer? I don't know. But we do have a clue about a suspicious person. I think.
I see. Then care to tell me, what's this clue you're talking about?
First of all, let's try thinking about how the killer was able to obtain the knife during the blackout.
Didn't we already cover that? They used glowing paint as a mark.
No, not that. I mean before that.
Before. It's about how the killer got close to that table. They had to obtain the knife by relying on the glowing paint to do that. They need to get close to the table while it's still dark.
Let's try examining the situation. My hero's diagram might be useful here.
The diagram of where everyone was standing before the blackout, right? Here it is.
This diagram is the clue. Killers and how they were able to move the table in the dark. It's clearly shown in this diagram. First, we need to discuss how the killer was able to move that table in the dark. He'll probably use something to help them move in the dark.
Here!
The killer must have used the desk lamp to move to that table in the dark.
Desk lamp? I hope you don't mean they turned on a light or something.
There was a blackout. There's no way the killer could have used the desk lamp.
Power
I can
cord.
prove it with this. They didn't turn the desk lamp on. They used its power cord.
Power cord?
They could have felt their way to that table using the power cord, right? By doing that, the killer was able to move to the table and use the glowing paint to find the knife.
And there's only one person here who could have done that.
Who?
It was Nagito.
You're the only one! Nagito, it was you, wasn't it?
Me?
Judging from everyone's positions before the blackout, the only person near the power cord was you.
Which means the only one who could have felt their way to the table using the power cord was Nagito!
That's just a coincidence.
But still, you had a chance, right? A chance to hide the knife under the table?
His chance to hide on the table was...
I see! Nagito, weren't you cleaning the dining hall all morning? If so, you would have had a chance to hide the knife.
That's...
If you factor in the power cord and the time you spent cleaning, you're the only one who could have done it.
Seriously! That's all just a coincidence!
If it was just one coincidence, it'd be fine. But when it's one right after another, I wonder, is something like that even possible?
Could it be? Did you give yourself cleaning duty on purpose so you could hide the knife under the table?
Now that you mention it, Nagito did prepare the drawing to pick who cleaned the dining hall.
You rigged the drawing, didn't you? That's how you got picked to clean the dining hall, isn't it?
I don't know if you're the killer or not, but regardless, it proves that you're suspicious, right?
If that's the case, that strange speech you made earlier, that was part of your plan too.
You got us to lower our guard and tried to hide the fact that you did it, didn't you, you motherfucker?
Well, just admit it already.
Nagito, tell me you object to this. Frankly, I don't want to believe it either. We investigated together. You were so kind. I can't believe you're the one who killed Byakuya. Nagito, say something.
Suddenly the music's gonna change.
The Ultimates are working together to combat the despair of their friend's death! Ah, how wonderful! How beautiful it is!
Huh?
Those eyes. That moment, Nagito's eyes. The darkness in his eyes shone brightly, as if layers upon layers of darkness were folding into each other. As if hope and despair had been crudely mixed together.
Let's cut to the chase. You're correct. It was my doing all along. I'm the one who hid the knife under the table before the party started.
Again, no, he's definitely fucking lying.
I'm the one who used the power cord to find my way to the table in the dark. And of course, I'm the one who caused the blackout. After all, there's no way I'd knowingly whip out a knife in front of everyone, right?
Is it just me, or does he seem a little nuts right now?
But I never expected Byakuya to have night vision goggles. Because of that, we had ourselves a little scuffle under the table. And, well, you all saw how that played out. But with the twist ending like this, I think we can all agree this ended up being a very interesting mystery. Byakuya performed admirably.
Just stop it already! Seriously! What the hell happened to you?
Don't tell me. Is this your true nature? Were you lying to us this entire time?
Lie? That's outrageous. There's no way someone like me would lie to you guys.
Yeah, there's definitely a way, like, holy fuck.
I understand better than anyone else that I'm ultimately worthless. Too arrogant to have dreams or cling to hope. Too disdainful to actually try at anything. I've made peace with the fact that I'm a lowly, stupid, insignificant human who can't do anything right.
Holy crap! He's totally the type of guy who spent his childhood killing neighborhood pets!
He seems like the sort of person whose eyes light up while watching Friday the 13th. Just like me.
That's quite the hobby you have there. But, like, now's not really the time to bring it up.
This guy, see the real Nagito?
Hey, Nagito! If you were behind all of this, then did you also send that threatening letter?
Yep, I sure did. There's nobody else on this island whose handwriting is that painful to look at, right?
But why would you send a threatening letter in the first place?
I think somewhere deep in my heart, I was probably hoping to find someone who would stop my evil deeds. Well, I bet if that really was my reason, at least some of you would feel sorry for me.
Are you making fun of us?
By threatening Byakuya, Nagito was likely able to manipulate his actions.
Building.
In doing so, Nagito was able to manipulate everyone to the scene where the murder would occur. Am I wrong?
That reminds me. Nagito was the one who suggested I guard the office.
Oh, I get it. If Pekka was guarding the storage room, Nagito wouldn't have been able to use the irons.
The threatening letter, along with all your suggestions. It was all a trap to manipulate us.
Yep, that's true too. But you're wrong about one thing.
Huh? What?
I didn't need to rig the drawing for cleaning duty, you know?
If that's true, Then how did you conveniently get picked for cleaning duty?
I see. Well, there's no way I'd expect you to remember it. A worthless talent for a worthless human.
Shut up. His talent, I believe his talent is babyface, unlucky student, lucky
I
student.
see! You're the ultimate lucky student. Then, did you? That's right. I just trusted my luck. I trusted I'd be picked for cleaning duty. You just relied on your luck? It's not just luck. It's true my talent sucks, but I'm still the ultimate lucky student, you know? At the time, Hajime said I wasn't lucky, but it was actually the opposite. I was lucky. That's why I got picked for cleaning duty, just like I wanted.
Enough. I don't care about that anymore. More importantly, why did you kill Byakuya? Answer me!
Byakuya was a very capable leader. For someone like him to get killed, the despair breaks. It's only fitting that you symbols of hope should use his death as a stepping stone to shine even brighter. That was my only motivation.
You're not making any sense!
Fine, let's start the damn vote already. I'm ready to fucking kill this psycho.
Please, Monokuma! Please, wait!
Huh? The fuck?
How should I put this? It is
What are you saying?
He's already confessed, hasn't he?
I already know that, but there's just something a little strange.
If it's only a little, then keep your mouth shut. Your ugly face is stressing me out. It makes me want to puke.
I'm sorry.
For now, might I suggest we listen to what she has to say?
But we know who the killer is.
Simply listening is acceptable. However, I won't allow this to end with mere play. Now then, let us lift the curtain for our bloody spectacle.
So you can't shoot down white noise.
I think it's strange that
The killer is so obviously Nagito!
he has already confessed. You know,
That bastard Nagito is the one who did it. He killed Byakuya with a knife he hid.
never mind.
Thanks for wasting our time, skanky bitch!
Then let's prepare to cast our votes.
I think it's strange that
The killer is so obviously Nagito!
he has already confessed. You know,
That bastard Nagito is the one who did it. He killed Byakuya with a knife he hid. No, that's wrong.
That knife might not be the murder weapon. That's what you wanted to say, right, Mikon?
What the hell are you talking about? It's obvious the knife was the murder weapon.
but based on the entry wound on Byakuya's body, the actual weapon should be roughly 5 millimeters in diameter.
5
5 millimeters in diameter? That's like way skinnier than a knife.
Hey, that better be true. If you screwed up, I'll sell your fucking ass to a whorehouse.
Not a whorehouse. Hey, why are you threatening her?
Is this what you're trying to say, Mikon? As long as we can't prove that the knife is the murder weapon, we can't assume that I'm the killer.
What are you saying? No one else can be the killer. It has to be you.
Hey, don't blame me. Mikon's the one who said it.
I'm sorry.
Hey, Nagito. Are you still hiding something?
Hiding?
Like, during the blackout, did something happen between you and Byakuya that we don't know about?
Who knows?
After all this, what else do you intend to hide?
Jeez, the moment your back's against the wall, you get all silent. You piss me off. What happened during the blackout? Ugh! If you cross your eyes like this, it gives you double vision.
Don't get distracted. Our lives are at stake, you know?
Huh? Whose life is at stake?
Seriously, how long is it gonna take for you to understand the damn rules?
Nobody can see in the dark, no matter how hard you think about it. The truth is beyond your sight. Don't you think that's a pretty clever metaphor? Despite the fact that it came from me? No, that's not it. Not it? What's not it?
Truth is beyond our sight. No, it can't be it. There should be some way to find out what happened in the dark. It's a count, right?
I can prove it with this. Even if we couldn't see what happened in the dark, I'm pretty sure someone could have heard it. Isn't that right, Ibuki?
Oh, reals?
I'm not so
You're
surprised.
the one who told me, remember? Why everyone was shouting during the blackout?
Everyone, calm down. We gotta stay calm in a situation like this.
What the hell? What's going on here? This is...
Ow!
Turn the damn lights on. I can't eat like this, you know.
You guys? Where are you? Wasn't the blackout just in the kitchen?
Perhaps the breaker overloaded?
Hold on a sec. I'll go along the wall and do something about it.
Such perceptive hearing. Impressive. I'd expect no less from the ultimate musician.
It's a good thing your ears are awesome because your face, style, figure, and personality totally suck.
Hey, that's rude. That's not correct.
You've cut me deep with your knife of truth.
No, it's not knife of truth.
However, after hearing what Byakuya and Nagito said in the dark...
What the hell? What's going on here? This is...
Ow!
It almost sounds like Byakuya fought back against Nagito or something.
Well, that's actually what happened. As a sign of respect for Ibuki's talent, I have a small confession to make. I was actually shoved out from under the table by Byakuya.
He shoved you out?
Just as the blackout occurred, I hurried to duck under the table and grab the knife. But Byakuya, wearing his night vision goggles, caught me and shoved me right out from under the table. That's right. I'm so incompetent that I couldn't even grab the knife.
So Miyagi stopped him when he was trying to get the knife, and shoved out from under the table before he could even grab it. Sounds plausible, I mean, just from listening to what they both had said at the time.
What the hell? What's going on here? This is...
Ow!
I could interpret it like that, no, actually. Now think about it, that sounds like exactly what happened.
After getting shoved out from under the table, I was just as confused as you guys. I lost sight of the glowing paint. I didn't even know where the power cord was. Before I realized it, the lights had come back on, and Byakuya's body was lying under the table.
Hold on! Are you saying you're not the killer?
From the very beginning, the idea to throw a party, hiding the knife, setting up the blackout, it was all going according to plan. But unfortunately, my plan failed. And all thanks to Byakuya's night vision goggles. What happened after that? Even I don't know.
You failed? Then you're not the one who killed Byakuya?
Then we're right back to square one!
How can that be? We spent all this time talking back and forth!
What other world is brimming with so much despair? But you can't give up. You need to have hope. Do your best and move forward. Rising to the challenge again and again is why you guys are the symbols of hope.
Is Nagito really not the killer? This guy, really the Nagito I knew before. There's no way I can say that. Just thought I knew him, but this whole time I didn't know anything about this guy. Didn't know his true character. It's as simple as that. There's no time for me to dwell on that. Let's find Byakuya's killer by any means possible. Because if we don't, we will die here.
Well now.
Now then, the class trial has reached its climax, but okay, here's a question for you. What's this? For those of you who have figured out who it is, how about you try out the Guess the Killer Challenge? Whoever fails to guess the right killer will have their save data melt away like butter. But if you guess right, I'll reward you $10 billion. $10 billion? Of course, for those who don't know who the killer is, you can just continue on.
Now then, what are you gonna do?
Just kidding, you can't make a choice. There's no way you'd be able to guess who the killer is. And of course,
There's no $10 billion either.
You're so evil!
villain, you truly are a villain.
I'm Monami, and my heart is throbbing like crazy right now. The group's leader, Byakuya, got killed. And his killer is among this group of students? No, I'm not gonna believe it. I'll never believe it. 'Cause I believe in everyone. So do your best. And don't forget to save regularly.
Well, what now? If the knife isn't the murder weapon, there's no definitive proof that I'm the killer.
Shut up! We'll be the judge of that.
You say you were shoved away, but you can't actually prove it, right?
That's right. Even if a different weapon was used, it does not mean Nagito has been cleared of suspicion.
But there's another reason why I don't think Nagito is the killer.
There's still more?
Based on what we've discussed, Byakuya was killed under the table, right? Is there something wrong with that? Well, even if that's true, I feel Nagito looks, clean.
Nobody's ever complimented me on my appearance before. Not even my own mother.
I'm not talking about your looks.
I see.
Are you trying to say something like, why didn't Nagito have any bloodstains on him?
Yes, that's it. Because under the table, there was a lot of blood splattered everywhere. There were even bloodstains on the inside of the tablecloth. If he stabbed Byakuya to death, it's strange he did not get splattered with an appropriate amount of blood.
I didn't get any blood on me? That is weird.
You just used something to block the blood, didn't you?
Something that might have been used to block the blood splatter. What do you think it could have been? I guess we did see something I could have used. Isn't that right, Hajime?
embarrassing pose.
I can prove it with this. You're talking about the bloodstained tablecloth we found in the storage room, right?
If there are bloodstains on it, that settles it. Nagito used the tablecloth to block the blood splatter.
But that was found in the storage room, right? Are you suggesting he hid it there after the murder?
You mean after the lights came back on? What would he have done if we'd seen him?
That's true. The tablecloth was pretty big. So even if you tried to hide it and take it with you,
Wearing a tablecloth, going under the table, getting a knife in a blackout, and stabbing someone. That's not just impossible for someone like me. Wouldn't it also be impossible for you guys too?
then what does it mean?
Maybe the killer didn't necessarily stab Byakuya under the table.
Huh?
No, there's no mistake that the murder occurred under that table.
Even the inside of the tablecloth was bloody, so there's no denying Byakuya was killed there. But that doesn't mean where Byakuya got stabbed and where the killer did the stabbing are the same, right?
I don't understand at all!
Well, yeah.
Roger.
It's under the floorboards.
Really? But it sounds like a riddle. I feel like I'm onto something, but it's still not clear what that is.
I think